You know something, Shoots?
What's that?
You can't spell hypocrite without OC.
Nothing more to say.
Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows. Bros and shows. Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Bros and Shows. I'm your co-host, Steele Russell, joined as always by the one and only Scooter McGavin. What's up, dude?
This show sucks.
It's not good.
It's not good. We're not hate watching yet.
We're not going to do a bash session either.
We're on hate watch is where we are right now.
That's exactly.
But look, it's week 4 of here's the main storyline. We're talking to bloggers. Cool. It's not fun.
We actually introduced another blogger into the mix. So if you thought we were getting done with the blogger...
It's getting deeper.
I know. Like, they bring up the Kiki Monique thing, and it's like, okay, so we're just going to keep throwing bloggers out there, and that's going to be the sticking point for Katie the entire season, which is a twofold thing.
Yeah.
1, it's a boring storyline. 2, it completely inhibits her from having any other growth in this show.
Yeah, it does. And look, I mean, we've said it before. We've said it for 3 weeks now. She hasn't done herself any favors because she already opened that door. Once you open that door, it opens many other doors where we can now accuse you of talking to all of the bloggers. And it just sucks because, like, as much as I want to believe her in it's just a cool moment. I've been listening to Kiki Monique's podcast for a long time. She's a great journalist, whatever it might be. There's just nothing you can do. There's absolutely nothing you can do except try to alienate yourself from all potential content creators.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can do that. And even then, I really have no faith in this group that they'd ever move on. So it doesn't really matter. There's no real way out of it. There's no way for her to squirm out of it. And there's no way for the audience to really finally move on because the cast won't move on. That's the problem.
And this could be the nail in her coffin on not coming back next season, honestly. So
why would she want to? And the way that we watch, and we kind of start off in the beginning here with Matt anyway, I love watching normal husbands in these environments because usually it delivers you a little bit of comedic relief. Like, oh, that's how a normal person would react to things like this with Tamara coming up and doing her Tamara things. But what I really get from this is I just don't think that it's going to work for either of them. I think at some point Matt's going to be like, are we really going to go through another season of doing this? These women are not going to ever let you move on. And again, a lot of this is her own doing because she did talk to bloggers, which is so stupid. But the fact that they're holding her to the fire, the accountability that needs to add up for Katie is crazy because none of these women have ever owned up to anything. But now we're drawing the line of bloggers when Tamara is a blogger. I don't get it. It's stupid. It's not moving.
It's hard to watch just because of that setup. Like, you have to watch Tamra say the most hypocritical things on earth, and then you have to watch Heather defending Tamra, which is crazy to watch as well. There's no movement. There's no movement in this show, and it's getting stagnant. And I've read the comments. People agree.
Yeah, people agree. And there is, and I think I'm really just like scratching and clawing and trying to find some
Silver
sort
lining.
of out here, at least some sort of light poking through all of this miserable, boring darkness. Heather seems amenable to potentially not fully go against Tamara, but to allow Katie to potentially go against Tamara, which I know I just said potentially like 3 times, but that is where we are right now. There's like a 4% chance there. So I did have to cut it in half about 6 times before we could finally get to that. But it seems like she's not as steadfast in I need to protect Tamara. I need to not allow this creature in Katie who's going after all of us through these bloggers to get in there and be a monster to my friend Tamara. Like, she does seem like she's movable, which is weird because of last year. And you could tell like Katie and Heather have nothing in common and they're never going to be friends. But when she says something at the end of this episode, it's like, okay, maybe there's something here. I don't know. And maybe we just need, and I never thought I'd say this, but maybe the focal point has to be Gretchen and Jen just going after Tamara and just seeing how Tamara handles it, I guess. We know how that's going to turn out. But if that's going to save us from this blogger bullshit, then yeah, sure, I guess I'm in for it.
Anything to change the narrative at the moment. And like you said, we start out with the aftermath of her talking to Shannon. I just love when Shannon makes comments. She's like, I don't like to lose my shit. It's like,
you do.
You do it a lot.
Yeah. I mean, maybe she doesn't like it.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure
she does it consistently.
It happens pretty frequently. But Heather does check in with Katie as she's leaving, which alludes to your point. Mm-hmm. So maybe
She's
there's
always a
some
great
wiggle room.
host anyway, so like I kind of just left it at that.
She is a gracious host, but considering where they've gotten from last season, and now she's like, hey, we should talk about this another time. The only caveat to that being like, okay, are you talking to her because you're concerned, or are you talking to her on behalf of Tamra?
Yeah.
Which we still don't really know. Like, it seems like it's Tamra-centric, but like you said, there is that 4% chance that it could shift.
It definitely could shift, and in this moment, it's more about Katie and Shannon. I do wonder what the rest of the women really think about Shannon.
I do too.
Having to, especially someone with like Heather, Tamara's her own monster. I'm not even going to throw her into this. But the women who've been on the show for a long time with Shannon, and us hearing all of these stories now about how terrible she is to production, how she's just an absolute nightmare to deal with half the time. I do wonder if it gets to these women at some point. Like, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. It's just Shannon. Like, what are you going to do? We've all had to be there with Shannon at some point in time. This is just your turn.
I think they're getting to that point. It doesn't seem like they're as reactionary to her shenanigans, but while Katie's walking out, Tamra's walking in with Joe De La Rosa, who is Slade's ex.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone saying that Tamra has changed, she gives you evidence frequently that
Joe's
she
her
has
best
not.
friend. She just needs her emotional support best
It's
friends.
fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
And she says things like, if Gretchen is threatened by Joe, it's like, that's not the point. The point is you're doing this intentionally to rattle Gretchen.
Yeah. Your first thought is, what is Gretchen going to think about this?
Yeah.
That shows that your intentions aren't, this is just my friend that I'm bringing. Like, no. Like, what are we talking about here?
We get like a group prayer on the way there.
Yeah.
Like, I just
So
can't,
stupid.
dude. And Katie's walking one way, Tamara's walking the other, and she's like, hey, you good? It's like, what the fuck do you care?
Yeah.
Why are you checking in? I don't want to see anybody crying. And Matt, very calmly, it's important to note that, very calmly, Matt's like, are you serious, Tamara?
Yeah.
Like, now you care?
Is this what we're doing?
And then Katie's like, you called me up, see you next Tuesday. Like, what's happening? They're not falling for your shit. And then Tamara gets defensive and says, I've been nothing but nice.
Mm-hmm.
To who?
To no one, really.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't really seen her be that nice to really anybody. It's just whoever she can use in that moment, which again, that's what Tamara does. That's her MO. That's fine. That's where she is in housewife lore. That's okay. But to go over to Katie and then get all defensive, like, what are you going after me for? It's
What's
like,
your
you
problem?
started this. You're the one who brought all of this up. And Katie makes a pretty good point. We laughed at it, of course, because it's very laughable that she wanted to renew lunch. She wanted to just get off on the right foot with everybody, even though she was on the wrong foot with everybody. And it seemed in Katie's mind, and maybe even Gina's mind, Gina's just irrelevant, who cares? But it seems in Katie's mind like this was my opportunity to just put all of that shit to bed. And all you did was bring up another thing that you had in your back pocket that happened over a year ago that now you're throwing out there because I'm trying to reset.
Yep.
So what's your problem? So, I mean, if I'm Katie, I'm obviously going to take that personally.
Yep.
Us, the audience, we just know that this is Tamara just creating chaos because that's what she does. She keeps things hidden for a little while, throws it out there. She knows it's going to create some chaos, and then she can continue to do what she's going to do. And for whatever reason, she's never held accountable for it.
No,
But
she gets
that's
a
all
pass.
she's doing. Yeah.
Because she's going through a hard time. No one else is allowed to go through a hard time, but she's going through a hard time. What I didn't care for at all was once they get into the party, Gretchen standing off in the distance, and Gina and Emily are clearly a little tipsy, and they start talking shit about her.
They're such losers.
They start talking shit about her looks.
Yeah.
Emily's like, she dips herself in formaldehyde. I'm like, you, of all people, with your body image issues and getting awful comments that we have defended Emily multiple times, like, you should never go after looks or anything like that. It's bullshit. It's the low-hanging fruit, and it's gross.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you take a shot at her looks? That makes
I have
no
idea.
sense.
Yeah, I have no idea. And this is what Gina and Emily bring to the show.
Yes.
Is just scenes like this. The rest of it, I don't give a shit about. I just simply don't care about a full scene with Gina talking to Travis. I don't care about Emily talking to Shane and going through things in their lives. Like, it's just boring. Like, you're just uninteresting. I don't really care what you bring to the show. And I think that's probably where the root of the problem is with this cast. It's not, as funny as it is, the root of the problem isn't Tamra.
No.
Tamra is a great housewife.
Yep.
I hate her, but she's a great housewife. Gina and Emily just bring nothing to the show, and I'm sorry, but I love getting the back-to-back scenes of all of this glamour and all of this money with Heather, and then somebody's struggling to be in the middle class. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I don't give a shit. This isn't what Housewives is about. And like, good for you. I'm proud of you, I guess, in a way. But you're so boring that I just simply don't care. And the only time that you're ever really involved in a storyline is if you put your foot in your mouth and then people are like, what the fuck was that, Gina? Or when you're just commenting on other people's things. Like, that's nothing that contributes to a housewife show. So I don't really understand what their role is in all of this. So, yeah, to throw them body shaming Gretchen in the middle of all of this, it's like, you guys suck.
It was the dumbest shit ever. I was genuinely surprised by it. Just because of what Emily's been through. I was like, for sure she won't do that. Sure enough, she did. But Tamara, of course, says that she got attacked by Katie when she was walking in, which is pretty par for the course.
Attacked because Tamara went over there.
Yeah.
Have you ever been attacked when you went over somewhere? It's like you walk over and you see a sign that says beware of dog and you stick your hand out over and you're like, oh my God, I was attacked. It's like, you did it.
And the attack, quote unquote, wasn't even an attack. It was them defending themselves from your shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Which
dumb.
was actually the first time in a while that I've ever seen somebody just so plainly, and it was Matt, of course, point out, like, are you kidding me?
Yes,
You're checking. This is your problem. You started this shit. Why are you now doing this? This is how Tamara operates. Like, just calling it as it is the best way to do it. And Tamara's like dumbfounded.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I didn't do any of this. I just got here. It's like, you know what you did. Shut up.
Well said. Stone Terry was funny. He made me laugh. He's walking around going,
He was the
"What's
best part of the
that?"
episode.
Like, he sounded like the old guy from the commercials. But you got Terry, Jen, Heather, and Gretchen standing there talking about Tamara, Katie, kind of everything. And Heather's defending Tamara. Even Terry gives like a stupid speech. It's like, when you go through some damaged milestones, you turn into this, that, the other. Fine. We can all agree that the Teddy diagnosis is awful. We're all thinking about her. I'm sure Tamara is rocked by that whole thing because they're so close, and we do feel for her. But when other people have gone through things, let's use Jen for an example. The Jen and Ryan shit last year. Where was her grace? Why don't we have grace for other people when they're going through things? But if Tamara's going through it, now you can't chime in. Now you got to back the fuck off.
We couldn't give Jen grace because Ryan called Eddie a bitch boy.
That was the funniest defense I've ever heard.
And he is a bitch boy. So like, what are we doing here?
Call him a bitch boy. It's like, you said on your Instagram and on TV that his house was raided by the FBI.
Yeah.
What's worse? I don't know.
I don't know.
Having CPS calling you because they think your house is unsafe, or calling your husband, who is a bitch boy, a bitch boy. The bitch boy.
Whose perspective are we looking from?
Even Tamara knows she's just... Actually, I don't believe that. I think she does believe she's right. And I'm glad Jen continues to check her, though, because she's like, why do we continue to make allowances for Tamara? And she said that to Heather. And Heather's response is, like, you can't believe this. You're not seeing it because she's not eliciting this behavior.
Yeah.
So nobody.
Heather, who just was laying in bed with Tamara when Tamara was body shaming Jen in a picture that she pulled up, which will come back apparently.
Thank God.
Based on what we saw for next week. So yeah, where are the changes, Heather? I haven't seen any. I really haven't seen any. What, she showed up sad to the Golden Door event? That's the change?
She showed up to
She's
your
sad.
party with Slade's ex to start a
Yeah,
plot.
like she showed up sad because she is sad. Okay, sad isn't change. Sad is an effect that might happen when somebody's going through something. Okay, let's see some behavioral change. Is there anything? No. Okay.
You can be sad and still an asshole.
Yeah.
You're just a sad asshole.
Yep.
Anyway, Jen does approach Tamara and just says, I would like to have another conversation. We need to sit down and hash it out. We all understand why. It makes sense. Tamara's like, what for? Like, what are we going to accomplish? Like, why would we have another conversation? I don't know. To try to clear up all of this shit? Perhaps. Just a thought.
I would just love to understand, like, how her mind operates during situations like that. Because the way she talks, it almost seems like she thinks that the audience is going to be bored by this. Like, what are we going to do here? There's no resolution. It's like, no, we're not happy until somebody finally points out your faults. And you seem to recognize that. And you seem to be pushed against a wall. Like, oh, shit, what am I going to do now? That's when we'll be happy. So anytime that somebody comes up and there's no resolution with Tamara and they want to have another conversation, I'm always here for it.
I agree, 100%. And Heather gives a nice speech or whatever at the end of the party. I did think it was funny that Slade and Gretchen just go over to Joe and say, hey, how are you? And nothing happens. That's the best way
That was
to
the
do
best
it.
way to do it, yeah.
Don't even engage. Just say, nice to see you. Hope you're
'Cause
well.
chances are Joe isn't like Tamara, and I do think that they probably had some sort of rah-rah speech on the way over, like, this is how we're going to handle
They had a
this, and
prayer.
I need you to stand up for yourself, and I need you to try to create a little bit of this, and I'll get involved, and I bet you she's going to be mean-mugging you from across, and we're going to have so many different comments. Instead, this happens, throws everybody through a loop. Tamara's not really expecting it, so she doesn't react to it. Joe, probably not the same as Tamara, does what normal people do. Hey, guys, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a while.
too.
Awesome.
Okay, bye. But then we get, as you described, Gina's fight to be in the middle class.
Yeah.
And it's her and Travis's real estate thing. And when this started, I was like, I don't really care. And then they started making ball jokes. And I'm like, you guys need new material.
Yeah.
If you're going to do this shtick, you keep using the same jokes we get it.
She
Travis
made one
has big
comment
balls.
that people probably reacted online and thought it was a little funny. That's probably all it was. And she
Travis's
said,
balls?
Whoa, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's keep doing this. And now it comes up every time. And I know the group keeps doing it too. But, when Gina's doing it, it's like, no.
It's just,
Come on.
yeah, I don't know, man. It's just boring.
We get nothing from Travis. And I'm not expecting things from
I
house,
don't
or
expect
house
shit from
husbands
Travis.
or whatever he is, boyfriends. I don't know what the fuck they are. There's nothing in this scene at all. There's just simply nothing. It's a small house that she's trying to sell, and we kind of get into, which is very funny, because Tamara shows up, and all these unsuspecting people walking in like, oh, cameras, I'm going to try to make a joke or something in front of the camera. Maybe it'll make the cut. No, it's probably not. But Tamara shows up, and they start talking about, very briefly, Gina's career.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, so this is all your real estate group, and you've got this, and yeah, I've got somebody on it. It's so fucking boring. I'm so sorry, but it is so goddamn boring. I've got an onboarding person down in Texas. That's crazy.
Whoa.
Can you imagine onboarding an employee?
And that's the
Fuck off. Like, Jesus Christ. I have to deal with this from 9 to 5. You want me to then go home and watch OC, where I'm supposed to be watching these extravagant women going out and just creating an absolute chaotic scene in their beautiful mansions, and instead I have to watch Gina talk about how she's onboarding an employee and she's got 2 employees. Whoa.
holy
Fighting for
shit.
commission, and not in like the $1 million listing way.
And that's the thing. Like you said earlier, like, good for you, Gina. Genuine.
Sure, yeah.
You've been through it. You finally made it or are making it. That's awesome. This is not a storyline.
No.
This is certainly not a storyline.
It's not even a scene. It shouldn't be a scene.
No, you get a juxtaposed scene as this all shakes out. You get Jen and Ryan at the dentist or the veneerist.
The veneerist. Yeah.
The veneerist. And in between these two scenes, on the one side, you got Tamara. She gets there. You get the song and dance about hiring new people, blah, blah, blah. She makes an over 55 STD joke, ha, ha, ha. And then they get into the Jen stuff. And Gina's question is, how did you guys get to this place? And Tamara's apparently dumbfounded. And she's like, and her defense is, I wasn't talking about Jen. I was talking about Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
And Gina's like, you know what? You are trying to change. And I can totally see a change in Tamara.
This trope is crazy. That they're all on board for it is wild.
I don't understand.
Like, do they all just feel so bad for what Teddy's going through that they're like, we just have to be nice to her? Like, but I could say that, but we've seen this season after season after season, and again, there is no change. So I don't know. I just don't understand how this cast can continue to do this. I can't understand how the production team is allowing them to do this, because it's wild to me. You have something on a silver platter right here. Good TV would be everybody going after Tamara and trying to hold her to all of the shit that she's done for the last couple of years, to all the women in the group. And instead, you're watching them bend the knee and try to act like she's making a change. It's crazy. And again, it doesn't hit hard. It might hit somewhere. Like, we at least have questions about it when Heather says it. When Gina and Emily say it, I don't care.
I don't believe them either. So, like, you get that
They're
part.
just afraid of her.
And Tamara always does things like this. She's like, Jen's that girl that acts really sweet in front of you and then talks shit behind your back. I'm like, bro, how do you say these things and not be like, oh, wait, no, that's me?
Is there a scene where Tamara isn't talking shit behind someone's back? I don't think so.
It.
I really don't think there is.
And it's always like when she finds something else out and she
Yeah.
acts like she doesn't. Well, I did hear. It's like you always hear. You always have extra to add to this whole thing.
Yeah.
If you changed and you want to keep talking about therapy, show us. Because that's the thing. As an audience member, we are not going to get swayed by Gina and Emily and Heather saying that she's changed. We're going to get swayed by watching you in a certain moment not do something you used to do. she's going to allude to it later, but it's not applicable in that moment.
So I don't really think it would matter at this point. I do think even if Tamara were to show real change on the camera, no one's going to believe it.
Well,
She's been doing it for way too long for anybody to, like, it would take her years to get any sort of good faith. And even then, me included, there would be doubters out there that are like, she's doing this for a reason. There's got to be a ploy in here somewhere.
and there always
I don't know
is.
what it is. And there always is, and there always will be. So it's just not, one, it's just not interesting. It's not believable. And I just don't give a shit.
when
It's just stupid.
She's like, when people have to keep telling you they're kind, I'm like, that's literally what you do.
Yeah.
You tell people you're not a bad person. You've
Yeah.
said that many times, and yet you don't show it. It's really
Stupid.
dumb. On the flip side, you've got Jen and Ryan, and Jen is open to the idea of moving forward as long as Tamara's honest. She even says, like, I don't care how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
She can say whatever she wants, but if it's honest and we can move forward, I will move forward with her. Gina, I guess, told Jen, which I'm glad that she did this at least. She told Jen about the jealousy comment,
Mm-hmm.
right? That Tamara thinks you're jealous of her, that you want to wear her skin. She made that joke about the hair extensions, which
Yeah.
I knew we weren't getting the full story.
No.
And Jen's pissed, but again, she's going to hear Tamara out, so that sets up the scene that we get later.
Yeah, but she does go through, and this is something I probably will give Tamara because she's been in OC for so fucking long. When Jen's going through you got to get the hair, you got to get the tits, you got to get the tummy tuck, you got to get the spray tan, then the last step is veneers. Tamara has done all of those things, and she's done them a long time ago, that now it's like, even if you're trying to just be the OC, the perfect OC housewife, Tamara can easily say, well, you're just trying to be me.
Oh, I see.
Because she did that so long ago, and she started doing that so long ago, that it's hard to not put two and two together. And I'm not really giving Tamara a ton of credit here. But I mean, she did do it first. So
I
if
see
you're
what you're
doing it
saying.
now, it's easy to say that. But then obviously Tamara's going to take it a little bit further. And I do think the hair thing is pretty fucking weird still. We didn't get the
think
full
it's
story, but it
weird.
is still fucking bizarre.
If she wore them out
Out?
of the shop and like
Even
kept
putting them in the shop is like, why?
but it's not like, I don't know. It doesn't give me stalker vibes unless she keeps
No, it's
them
not
in her
exactly
head.
Buffalo Bill,
It's,
but like
strange.
yeah.
It's like a weird move, I guess. But
They were in her head, so it is bizarre. It is very bizarre,
I don't
and
know.
obviously, Tamara finding that out is going to
that's gonna make your life a lot harder.
yeah.
That's too much of a layup for her.
Yeah.
But moving on, I like these scenes because it's just wealth. Obviously, we watched Heather and Terry buy that big ass house for like $16.5 million last year. They had these big dreams to flip it and turn it into this beautiful, beautiful home they're going to live in forever. Last episode we saw, too much. They don't want to get into it, so they're going to sell the house.
Yep.
So they just put in, a measly like $4 million to fix it up.
She's at 45.
I think she said 425.
Oh, 425. Okay, because the subtitles
5.
also said 45,
45.
and that's why I was confused. So, $4 to $5 million makes way more sense.
Because she wants to list it at 20, or she wants to
Yeah.
sell it for 21. It's listed at 25.
Correct. That makes
Yeah.
way more sense because I'm like 45. What?
Dollars?
How rich are we talking about right here?
$45 bucks.
Because originally I'm like 45,000 is not enough to dress up that house and put some makeup on a pig. But I mean, I guess if you're right next to Drake and
They're
LeBron,
sandwiched between Drake and LeBron.
which either Josh could be lying about that. Who knows? Based on them, but cool house, cool story,
Super cool house.
a lot
and
of
cool
money.
story.
Love that.
Totally. Like, what did they say? They want it to be like an $85 million house of
It's
their dreams.
what
or
they
something.
imagined, yeah. But it is just really funny how quickly things change because Heather goes into all of her kids are all over the place. Two of them are probably going to be on the East Coast. She's got Nikki down in LA. Like, this isn't really working out. I don't know what they thought was going to happen.
She does say something that perked my ears up.
Oh,
The universe is telling us to look elsewhere. I'm like,
Yeah,
are you
that's-
going to Beverly Hills? I don't know.
We're always going to do this until she goes. But as I think I said this in the first episode because we went right back into that. We ended last season talking about that too. And then Heather came back and it's like, all right, here we go again. First episode, we start talking about, oh yeah, my kids are all over the place. I spend more time in LA. It's like, oh, okay, are we doing this again? Great. It's just got to be so damn easy for her to be in IC. It's the easiest job in the
It's a
world.
layup.
She barely does anything. She's still Heather Dubrow. She gets to throw extravagant parties. I don't even know if Bravo's chipping in for that. I don't think it really matters based on how much money they have. It's so easy. She
Yep.
doesn't have to do anything. She has to deal with these frivolous paparazzi things, which, she probably planted and, it was an easy storyline, but she doesn't have to do shit else. She goes to Beverly Hills, it's a whole different demon.
100%. But she would be great on it, I think. And I think that would help push that show a little bit. And they're going to need it, with Garcelle leaving. Obviously, it's been lackluster for years now.
Well, we had our live show, 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
When it was? When we were up there with Zach. I think they both suck right now. I think OC and Beverly Hills are some of the worst franchises right now. And there's just nothing you can really do if Heather goes to Beverly Hills, and we've heard that there's some cast shakeups. Apparently Denise Richards was filming as well, and then she got arrested, and there's a whole other thing there. But
film that.
I hope they did film that, because apparently she went to her ex's house and the cop showed up. So, hopefully, if we get a Heather over in Beverly Hills, it at least saves one of the franchises. You've got two patients laying on the operating table. They're both going to die, or one can die. What are we going to do?
One.
Let's take an organ out of the one, OC, and let's throw it in there, and we'll see what happens. Nobody's going to watch. OC is just a dumpster fire right now. I mean, people
watch.
Still watch it because it's OC.
So we still have to watch
dumbest
it.
trope, yeah.
At least last year we got to enjoy it. We got to enjoy one season,
Count our blessings.
Maybe this will turn around.
I'm not playing that game.
With another blogger entering the picture, I don't think so. But you get a scene with Tamara and Sophia. Sophia is currently in community college. She wants to go to music school, whatever. It's nice to see that Sophia, she seems like she's doing good. I just wanted to say that because last time we saw her was a little awkward on camera. She seems like she's in a better place. I don't know. But she's selling Tamara's clothes, and she calls her an entrepreneur, and this, that, the other thing. Now, one thing, because this scene didn't really have a whole lot to discuss.
It didn't have a whole lot to discuss. The problem for me was, while I was sitting there saying, okay, you can show that you can be a good mom. Clearly there's a connection here. Sophia seems okay. She seems safe, which, we're always good for. Why the fuck do we have to talk about your other daughter?
Every time.
Every time.
Every time.
She doesn't want you to talk about her. She doesn't want you to mention her, bring her up in any way. Sophia even says, we're not talking about dad. We're not talking about anybody else in the family. Just talk about us, which she does a good job here.
Until
that.
Sydney.
Why?
Can you not read? She posted on Facebook. It was pretty clear. We all get it. We all know that every time you say it, we roll our eyes and go, here we go again. And yet you keep bringing it up. And what you're doing inadvertently is placing blame on Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
She's not talking to me.
Yep.
I'm so sad. She won't reconnect.
It's actually Gretchen's fault.
Yeah, it's Gretchen's fault. And Jen.
And Slade.
But definitely Ryan.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. But then we get another juxtaposed scene. A lot of difficult note-taking for this guy. At least not that much happens, so I don't have to write that much down. But we get yoga with bed sheets hanging from the ceiling is the only way that I can describe that.
More sex exercise. What is with this?
I don't know.
Every time we go to a gym now, it's sex exercise.
Sexercise.
Why?
I don't know.
The comedic relief is Shannon trying to hang on the sheets.
Shannon trying to navigate the sheet was entertaining.
That is very funny.
She just seems not super coordinated.
The type of shit that you don't you'll see it in a movie, in a rom-com or something, and you're like, oh, that's funny. It's I don't know, throw in any rom-com. Who was in I can't remember her name. Amy Schumer. Throw in Amy Schumer. This is an Amy Schumer bit.
Oh yeah.
She was in that movie with John Cena, and she was trying to drag down from the drapes. Train wreck. There we go. Throw in this scene with Amy Schumer, and do whatever you want to do. It's the type of stuff you watch in a movie, and you're like, that doesn't happen in real life. And then you see Shannon Bedore do it, and you're like, oh, I guess it does happen in real life. She looked like she was going to die.
Yeah.
She was in such a bad position, and she's screaming at the top of her lungs.
Also just grunt ah.
Yeah, it was so unbelievably funny to just watch her try to do that. And again, there's nothing else really going on in this scene, so it's oh, okay.
No.
What are we gonna do?
I jump back to get some opinions here and there, but other than that, Katie, Heather, and Gina are talking, and they're sitting down together at lunch, and Katie's getting the rundown of what happened when she left. I heard Matt yelled at Tamra.
Mm-hmm.
Who told you that, Tamra?
Of course.
We watched the scene, and I hope, this is what I truly hope. I hope Heather watches the season back. I don't think Heather watches the show.
I don't think she does
but
either.
If she does and sees that scene, maybe she'll be like, oh,
yeah,
that's not true at all.
Mm-hmm.
What else isn't true? What else has Tamara been telling me? That's what I hope. my hopes are very low because I just don't think Heather cares once the cameras are down. She barely cares when they're on. So I don't think that's going to do anything. But her response isn't, when Katie says that didn't happen, her response is not like, oh, maybe I should talk to Tamara. Her response is Matt shouldn't get involved. Matt didn't. Matt defended his wife ever so briefly and calmly. Like, what else? Like, what would you have done in that situation?
Yeah, probably the exact same thing. It seems like he understands who Tamara is as a person, so I'm not going to fault him for it when she's approaching his wife, who he then has to, debrief with over the next couple of days as we see them in bed a little bit later as well. So, yeah, it's just typical husband behavior. Of course he even, laughed it off. He's like, you can't be serious, right? Like, that is the right approach to something like this. I kind of understand when Heather's like, yeah, Matt shouldn't get involved. I don't necessarily think it was he's inserting himself like the other husbands do. It felt more like, honestly, what Terry would do in that situation.
I literally wrote down he did just as much as Terry chiming in earlier about what Tamara's going through.
Which is nothing really bad and nothing that's going to really move the needle or anything. I think it's more in line with that. But yeah, I mean, there are other husbands on this cast that would actually involve themselves in a situation like that. We haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it's coming.
Without a doubt. It always does. That's the one thing you can rely on with OC is the tropes will return. We see it every single damn time. But this is when Kiki Monique gets brought up. And allegedly, Katie asked Kiki to put out stories to hurt the other women in the group. Where'd you hear that from? I heard it from Tamra. That's not true. Prove it. I like the prove it line. Here's the problem. We've now gotten to a point where every time somebody brings up a blogger connection, it turns out to be true. At least that you're talking to them.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to defend now that we have pictures and you saying we had dinner. She's a great journalist. It's like, stop.
Yeah, that's the big problem here. And again, we've talked about how boring this storyline is, so we really don't want to pay it a whole lot of attention. But it is right now, at least, the main storyline going on right now.
Doesn't that suck?
Here's our opinion on it, even though, and it does. It really sucks because I don't really think that Katie's.
I don't think she said go spread stories.
She's not. I don't think she's actively spreading stories, but she leaves herself open to that by doing this stuff because she did actively seek out and message a blogger already, and she admitted to that, and we know that she's done that. So now everything else is open. It's just open season on Katie at this point, and she put herself there. There's no other way to look at it. She's done this to herself, so this is what's going to happen. It's just so annoying to watch because we know there's probably nothing really there. I do believe her when she says that, she had a lot of great admiration for Kiki. She reads her all the time. She's a great journalist. It was probably a really surreal moment for her. But when you go back to what she's talking about, and she was talking about this before her lunch, she thought that this was a dog-eat-dog world. She thought that she had to do all of these things. That's why she came in hot with the paparazzi comment. She never really learned. She just never learned. And again, I'm sure she met up with Kiki before that lunch, before she had all those apologies and talking about the bloggers and everything. It's just now there's ammunition out there. So did you go and talk to another blogger on top of this? Are we going to have to endure this all season, or will it eventually just stop because there's no more content? Because at some point, hopefully, there are no more bloggers. There's nothing else that we can say.
There's always another blogger.
There's always another fucking blogger, I know. And unfortunately, too, a lot of these bloggers are very hungry and they're very thirsty for attention.
I'm not saying that about Kiki. I don't know enough.
I don't think Kiki's one of them. But the one-off Bravo bloggers, the one-off content creators, if we get to a point they're like, ooh, she also talked to me, guys, it's going to be mentioned at the reunion. It's going to be mentioned later in the season. It's just going to be so annoying. So if you're a blogger and you're listening to our show right now, stay the fuck out of it.
Just don't get involved with the actual show. Blog about the show.
Yeah, talk in the off season, get some sources.
Sure.
Never name your source.
Nope.
Just move forward.
Yeah,
what happened to journalistic integrity?
Yeah, god damn it. But the one funny part of this scene was, Heather's like, no one knows what to believe. Like, what's next? But she does acknowledge, like, you really need a W.
Yeah.
You really need a win here.
Yeah, she said she's in her corner and she wants to see her score.
Yeah, we all do. At this point.
That is the comment that I'm taking a little further, where I'm like, okay.
Does she want her to score on Tamra?
Score on Tamra. That's what it has to be. Or maybe it's just like, kind of get back into the good graces where people aren't questioning everything you're doing.
Like you're getting the shit beat out of you.
But yeah, I'm choosing to believe she wants her to score against Tamra because maybe she sees something else there.
Okay.
Maybe Heather's going to get involved. I don't know. We say this every season.
But that's the thing with OC. You can always say it every season because it's going to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
But let's check in with Katie and Matt because they're talking about Gina and Heather. Gina sees both sides now. Here's where I get frustrated with Gina.
She sees both sides, but she goes to her confessional and says, I just don't like Katie anymore.
One, yes. Two, nothing's changed.
No.
So why now do you see both sides?
I don't think she sees both sides. She doesn't see both sides. For whatever reason, she does. I think it's just some sort of responsibility because she brought Katie into the group, so it's going to reflect negatively upon her.
I don't know.
If it was going to happen, it would have already happened, Gina. So there's guilt in there for whatever reason, and I think she's just afraid of everybody else on the show. That's kind of the sense that I get from Gina pretty much every episode. I think that's all it is. I don't think that if push came to shove and everything's on the table, it's pretty even between, say, Katie and Tamra. She's going to go with Tamra. She's not going to choose Katie.
Without a doubt.
So when you say you see both sides, to me, a normal person, that would say to me, if something pops up on one side or the other, then I'll have to make a choice. That's not how Gina operates at all. Gina's always going to take the popular girl.
Every
So
time.
don't say you see both sides because it's bullshit.
Yeah, and like I said, nothing's changed. So
No.
now why would you suddenly be on both? Yeah, whatever.
I don't know.
Let's get to Tamara and Jen. It's a long time coming. We all at home saw it coming. Tamara's surprised that they need to talk. I don't really fucking know that. But Jen even acknowledges what Tamara's going through. And she's like, I want to ask you questions, but I want you to be honest. I want honest answers.
I thought it was going to start off so much differently.
What'd
When
you
she
think?
started to say, I want to ask you so many questions, I thought it was like as a long lost friend. You know what I mean? Like you see a friend that's going through
I
stuff, but
see.
you're not really in a place where you can talk to them about things.
Sure.
It's like, I want to ask you so many questions about like how you're doing, how you're feeling. And then it just took a complete left turn. And I'm like, oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Let's try to get some honesty.
Yeah, go in.
It's not going to work, but good job.
No, she lies immediately. I'm always honest.
Uh-huh.
No, you're not. No, you're not. But she asks, where did we fall apart? Where did everything go? And it all comes back to that dinner when Tamara was hammered.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you have Eddie was like the battered husband in the blanket.
Yeah.
Remember that at the end of the dinner and didn't even
Yeah.
leave with her. But she says, I admitted that I was an asshole. But Ryan, again, she was talking about the FBI at that dinner. Okay, very important to note. It was a big allegation. She had to apologize because she got threatened with a lawsuit. She had a cease and desist. It's a pretty big deal. Yeah, her response is, yeah, well, Ryan called Eddie a bitch boy, so he's not innocent either.
Tit for tat.
No, it's not.
Not at all.
Not even remotely close. It's not the same thing. And Jen, luckily, I think she's really hit her stride, and that's what sucks because I think she's doing well. But
I think she's doing really well, but I think what needed to happen was, which I think why this entire scene and the idea of them sitting down to try to hash it out is very funny.
Mhm.
Jen came into her own because she's so far away from Tamra.
Yeah.
Because she's at odds with Tamra, and she's going, I don't want to call it scorched earth because she hasn't gotten there yet, but I think she could get there.
Definitely.
She's getting to the point where she doesn't care about Tamra's approval.
Mm.
That's why she's been able to come into her own. I don't know if the same can be said about everybody else on the cast, but I'd like to think that that might be the case. But with Jen sitting down and having this conversation to clear the air and potentially get back and say, I miss you as a friend or anything like that, I hope that all of that's out the window.
I think
I
it is.
don't
after
want them
this.
to be friends because it's much better TV when they're not friends, because this is the only thing that we can really sink our teeth into.
I can't imagine after the way this ends that they're going to
I don't think so. Yeah, I think this pushed her further away, which is a good thing.
I hope so. But it wouldn't be a Tamara conversation without some good old hypocrisy in there. You can say whatever you want, but if I say anything back, pretty much alluding that Jen can dish it, but can't take it.
Yep.
And she's allowed to say anything, but if you try to check Jen, it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Jen's the most agreeable person on this cast. She's
By
logical.
far.
It doesn't make any...
The only time that Jen ever gets caught up is when people bring up things that she was present for and she doesn't remember.
Right.
She seems to not remember a lot of shit.
That's her only flaw.
Uh-huh.
But she will calmly listen to reason.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's against her. She'll hear it out and go, oh, when Gina was trying to tear her new asshole in the coffee shop last year, she still sat and listened.
Yeah.
She wasn't yelling at Gina. She was
tried
just
to figure it out.
She was taken aback, caught off guard.
Yep.
So she tries to shift it. let's try this, because I think this works better for you. Don't you fucking be condescending to me. Here we go. Who the hell do you think you are? You're not. What?
Pete Weber.
Yeah, I know. Who
Yeah.
do you think you are? I am.
I am.
That's what I got from that, too.
Yeah.
You know his name?
Yeah, absolutely. I know him. He's a legend.
That's awesome.
Yeah, come on now. No, this is how we haven't seen this in a little while, so I wasn't exactly caught off guard. But this is how things go with Tamara. There are actual things that are pointing to her being a bad person. She's just gonna raise her voice
And start saying mean things.
Mm-hmm.
Because now she's backed into a corner. So her response is, I'm not the one who got evicted. I'm not the one who got caught cheating. Jen's calm. And again, does that make you feel better? And you've never cheated? She's like, maybe, yeah. Yeah, well, no. I left Simon for Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
And even there, Jen's like trying to play the game. She's like, okay, well, I left, what's his nuts in Oklahoma for Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the first or second time? Here we go. New rumor.
Now we're just throwing things out there.
New rumor alert. And we go to the confessional. She's like, well, I did hear something.
Of course, she's always heard something.
Stop.
There's always unsubstantiated rumors in Tamara's back pocket, and if there's not, she just fabricates them.
Yep. And
No reason. It's just to ruffle feathers so that she can get out of it again scot-free. It doesn't seem to be working that well with Jen, which is a good thing.
yeah, she's not rattled.
It gave me some hope, I guess, going forward that she's not rattled. It's just, again, it's the same old song and dance. There's not much more to be said about this because we've seen it 1,000 times from Tamara.
Yeah. Allegedly, there's another guy at the yoga studio who she was involved with.
Yeah.
That's the claim. We have no proof of this. Tamara's going to die on this hill. So, at the very least, you better bring somebody up.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the route you're going to go, there better be some kind of evidence.
She doesn't even really need to die on the hill either because everybody else will fall in line. And that's what we've seen before too. If this continues and this is going to be a sticking point and she's going to spread this rumor even further, she'll just tell the rest of the cast. Heather will probably stay out of it, but Gina and Emily will believe her immediately. And they'll probably even lie and say that they heard the rumor too. We've seen it so many times and it's so frustrating because all she does is just build a wall around her where she can throw Gina and Emily after her, be like, oh, I heard that was true. I heard this is what's going on. It might get to Jen just because, again, they're now talking about how she potentially cheated on her husband, which could come back and haunt her because she's still dealing with the divorce settlement from that, as we heard earlier this season. And this is all Tamara wants to do is just create more confusion, more chaos so that she can get away with it.
Correct. Well said. And then we get to the extensions. Here's what I think happened, because what Jen says, she contradicts herself, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I clipped them briefly as a joke, and then I took them out. Fast forward a little bit, and she's like, the stylist said they were brand new hair extensions, that you didn't have them in for like more than, she made it seem like they put them in and took them out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how long they were in for.
Yeah.
But the initial one is it was a joke, and then the next one is they were pretty much brand new. So I'm like, okay, so you did wear them out. So here's what I think happened, and I don't think it's creepy. All right, we know where Jen has come from financially, right? Especially last season, the way she started out. So what I think happened is they went to the same salon. Someone said Tamara was just in here. She just had her hair extensions taken out. They were like brand new, discounted hair extensions from somebody you know. So I think she's like, fuck yeah. Balling on a budget. I'll take them. And I don't think it was deeper than that.
It probably wasn't deeper than that. She made a one-off joke like, oh yeah, I put them in and we had a laugh about it. It's like, it's still a little weird. I don't know. I think that your reasoning is probably a little bit more believable.
Yeah,
I
but
wish
that's
that
the
she would just kind of
problem.
lean into that.
Right.
But again, then we're kind of getting into the territory of, I didn't have any money. And when you're a housewife, oh God, we're doing this again. It's just...
She didn't have any money.
She didn't. She truly didn't have any money. So it does make a lot of sense. And I think if she owns that, I think everybody would probably be okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Why wouldn't I want the hair extensions of somebody that I know versus some random person from the street and get them discounted? Like, yeah, of course I'm going to do that. They were your extensions, whatever. It's not that weird. It is a little weird when Tamara can, of course, point the finger back and be like, you're doing all these things. It's the same stuff that I've done. It's like, okay, yeah, that's where it
That goes to
crosses
your
over,
theory.
where it's like, yeah, you can say that, and people can't really say shit about that. It's just, I can't believe that this is what we're talking about.
Oh, I know. We're talking
know
about
what I
hair
mean?
extensions. And like, I guess.
In the grand scheme of things, if this was a good season,
Oh, this would be
if
great.
this was a great cast and there was a lot of shit going on, this would be hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
This would be so funny. We'd be having so much fun with this, but we just simply can't because this is going to be an actual thing. And we've heard about this for 3 episodes now.
Yep.
If this was a one-off comment from Lisa Barlow talking to Angie K or something.
Very funny.
Like, you threw my hair extensions in. I can't believe you did that when Sean's a hairdresser. That's really funny. That is incredible material for any other housewife show. But for this show, it's like, oh, God, come on. Give us anything.
Boo.
Boring.
But I guess the worst thing you can say to Tamara is that you're sick.
Yeah.
You're sick. And she's like, don't you fucking say that. Don't you say that to me. You shut your mouth
Call
when
her
you're
a
talking to me.
psychopath. Call her a sociopath. Like, get in there.
I think she's
Call her some
getting to that
names.
point.
Yeah.
I really do. And it's funny because meanwhile, Tamara's calling Jen like single white female and all like crazy.
Tamara can say whatever she wants, yeah.
Yeah, but all she says is you're sick. And she's like, oh, the best part, the cherry on top, can't spell hypocrisy without OC. Tamara leaving, goes to a confessional. The old Tamara would have laid into her.
Sure.
Clearly therapy's what, bruh. That was the same you.
Mhm.
What are you talking about? You didn't change anything. You didn't raise
It
the
was
volume of
only
your voice.
toned down in the sense that it didn't drag on too long.
Right.
Which I'm thankful for.
Me too.
But yeah, I laughed when after she had gone out and then Jen goes over to a therapy dog.
Yeah.
Which was fucking hilarious. She goes, I guess the dog was biting on her hair and the owner told her not to bite on the hair. Oh yeah, but this isn't Tamara's hair. And then she shares a laugh with the woman sitting there.
They must have been
And I'm
listening.
like, did they know that? Like, did they know everything and they heard everything or whatever it may have been?
Well, they're not quiet.
Yeah, they're definitely not quiet. And I know there were a lot of good reaction shots to come from that scene with people just kind of, which I always love, but people eating their dinner or drinking their margaritas are like, what
this.
the fuck is going on over there? That's great. And could you imagine just being a fan of the show? Like, oh my God, it's Tamara Judge. Tamara and Jen, they're still going after it? Holy shit, give me another margarita.
100. I wouldn't
That's
leave.
incredible. I would stay there forever. That would be-
Absolutely.
just in case they come back, that would be incredible. But I mean, I do hope. I don't know. I kind of think this is what's going on. We're seeing a lot of scenes where people are questioning why Jen would be near Katie. This would be diabolical. What I would love and what everybody should want is for Jen and Katie to team up against a common enemy. That would be great. And then obviously you're going to have Gina and Emily kind of getting involved here and there, whatever. Shannon's doing her own thing. Heather's doing her own thing. But that would be probably best case scenario is at least we can get some sort of team up where they can go after her, get Gretchen involved. That's what I would want. But we've seen a lot of scenes where Heather, Gina are sitting with Jen talking about how can she be close to Katie when she's doing all of these things. Are they preemptively making sure that they don't stay together so that they don't team up on Tamara?
Oh.
That would be a lot to ask for.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It just seems like they're, for whatever reason, keeping Jen away from Katie, but it doesn't make much sense because Katie's really only affecting Emily, who, Jen doesn't have a relationship with Emily, and Tamara, and she's actively going after Tamara. So why would they want to keep her away from Katie?
I think because they don't like Katie.
That's
is what
probably
the
all
main
it is,
thing.
but it's just interesting the way that that's working out.
I agree. I also think, though, that when it comes to Jen,
Mhm.
like, she's going to do what she wants to do. She's not going to follow anybody else's guidelines or anything. So I do see them teaming up eventually. They have too much in common against Tamara to not make that alliance. Now, when you have Gretchen there as well, like, you get that trio, this season could shift. Like, it could be fun to watch.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it's not.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, again, one thing we do have to look forward to, Tamara does quit the show. at
Oh,
some
yeah.
point.
I'm curious to see what that happens.
I think that's going to happen probably after New Orleans, before Amsterdam, but Nolans. But hopefully that I already know how that's going to play out. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. It's not spoiling. I just know.
Oh,
internally, I know how that's going to play out.
I have a pretty good idea.
Push is going to come to shove, and Tamara's going to be like, "I can't take this anymore. I'm out of here." It's like
She's
this
gonna
is the
start it.
first time. Yeah, she's going to start it. She already started it actually, but yeah, this is the first time in years that anybody's actually tried to go after you. You can't handle it. Get out of the kitchen, but come back to the kitchen right away. That's what's going to happen.
Yep, without a doubt.
But yeah, no questions tonight since we're getting this out a little late. We are getting back on schedule.
Everything's summer. We get summers too.
Yep, everything's back to normal this week. Everything will be back out at a normal time. And we got to start putting our heads together to try to figure out what other shows we want to handle.
Yeah.
Because Bravo's
We're
giving
hitting
us
a
a
lull.
little bit of a bleak slate.
We're hitting a lull.
Salt Lake comes back out in September. So we'll be doing some research. We'll get back to you soon.
Might be some wacky choices. There's apparently some show. What's it called? Are You My First?
Oh, yeah, there's a show about virgins. And,
might do that
it's a
one.
dating show.
Yeah, we might do that one. And then Love is Blind Philly.
That's definitely going to happen, but that
Definitely
won't be
doing
out
that.
until the winter, I don't think.
Okay. Well,
They're still doing that's actually very
Casting.
fun for all of us here because you see people like I still have a Facebook.
oh,
So
wow.
there are people from Facebook that like I know from like growing up that are like, how do I apply for Love is Blind? It's like, oh boy.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh god.
Look,
There's gonna be at least one person that we know.
I was
on
going to
that
say,
show.
Philly's a big city, but
Mm.
it's a small city. You always run into people that you know everywhere. There's no way that we don't have a connection to somebody on that show.
For sure.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
What if it's somebody like we really know?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either, but that'd be so much fun.
I don't know if it'd be that fun to cover.
Ah,
Let me tell you a story about this person I knew in high school.
you want some dirt on this fucking guy?
We have all the inside source.
Oh, we would be those bloggers.
Yeah.
No,
Nah.
never. But that's all I got. You got anything else?
Nope.
No, that's our show. Bros gotta go.